Hey guys, welcome back to our drone training series. This is episode 2. In this episode, we're going to explore 2 critical factors that every drone pilot should be familiar with. That's airspace and weather. Let's get into it. So we're going to talk about the overview of airspace classifications and restriction, discussion on how weather conditions can impact drone flights, and the importance of checking weather forecasts and understanding airspace before flying. By the end of this video, you should be a professional weatherman. You should know when it's gonna rain, when it's gonna snow, if it's gonna be a windy day, and all that, because every time you fly, which is gonna be every single day, you're gonna have that weather bug app and you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's gonna rain, I can't fly today. This is not sponsored by WeatherBug, but WeatherBug, you hear me, hook me up. All right, so overview of airspace classifications and restrictions. Airspace is divided into different classes to manage and separate air traffic. Understanding airspace is crucial for safe drone operations and compliance with the FAA regulations and for your Part 107 exam. So pay attention, write notes, do whatever you gotta do, just pay attention. Class A, generally from 18,000 feet above sea level to 60,000 feet above sea level. Class Bravo, typically around major airport, extends from the surface to 10,000 feet above sea level. Class Charlie, around smaller airports with moderate traffic, extends from the surface to 4,000 feet above the airport elevation. Class Delta, around smaller airports with control towers, extends from the surface to 2,500 feet above the airport elevation. Class Echo is controlled airspace that extends beyond. Class Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta airspace are the important ones. Class G is uncontrolled airspace. It's often found in rural areas, like a farm, whatever you want. Go crazy, go fly. What I wanted to talk about is TFRs. A TFR is very important. TFR stands for temporary flight restrictions, and they may be imposed due to events or emergencies, football games, sporting events, whatever it is. If there's a TFR, can't fly unless you get a special permit. And I believe you have to submit that permit 72 hours. I'm not sure, don't quote me, but you have to submit it in advance before the FAA can review it and approve it. Special use airspace is SUA. It includes areas like military operations and prohibited airspaces. No fly zone if you're a layman like myself. So drone pilots must be aware of airspace classifications and restrictions to operate safely and legally. Checking sectional charts and online tools helps identify airspace in the planned flight area. When you're getting ready to fly, you know, they say check the Before You Fly app or check Aloft Air Control. Those are the 2 apps that I use, and I'll be able to look and see in my location if I'm in a restricted airspace, if I'm in a TFR, or if I'm in a SUA or whatnot. I'll know if I can fly or not. Please check that before you take that drone off, because I promise you the feds will be, or local security, they'll find you. They have drone trackers, and with remote ID, you can't hide unless you have an unmarked drone, which I do not support. Let's talk about weather. How weather conditions can impact drone flights. Weather conditions play a significant role in the safety and feasibility of drone flights. Adverse weather can affect drone performance and pose risks to the operators and others. It's kind of common sense. Don't fly your drone in a tornado without the risk of losing your drone or your drone flying into something or flying into yourself. Just understand that, you know, the wind is something that we can't control, and sometimes it's stronger than the little drone you have flying, and it will take it off calibration, I promise you. Rain. We all know that rain can damage electronics and snow or ice can impact your aerodynamics. Like I said, is it worth it? If it's worth it, then take the risk. Just deal with the consequences. Thunderstorms. Thunderstorms have lightning strikes. I've never seen a drone struck by lightning, but I'm sure if you go on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, you can find a drone getting struck by a lightning bolt. That's a risk. Don't do it. There are many effects that can happen on your drone performance, which is reduced flight time, stability, control in adverse weather, increased risk of equipment damage, or even failure. Weather conditions directly impact the safety and success of drone flights. Always check your local weather apps, forecasts, and assess the conditions before flying. Download a weather app, guys, before you fly. Just check it. It takes 5 seconds. The importance of checking weather forecasts and understanding airspace before flying is crucial. You want to ensure safe and optimal flying conditions. You want to identify potential risks such as high winds, storms, low visibility, plan flights during suitable weather windows, and learn how to check weather forecasts. What I can say to you guys is think about a pilot and think about you flying on that plane. What would the pilot say if it was hailing? Would the pilot not check the weather and just take off? No, he's going to check the weather. He's going to discuss the weather patterns and the flight situation with the tower, and they're going to make a decision if it is safe to take that aircraft off. You need to treat your drone the same way a pilot treats a plane. Just have the respect and you will be fine. You will not hurt anybody. But remember, accidents happen. Just the whole goal is to minimize incidents. You want to use reliable weather websites, apps, or aviation weather services. Pay attention to METRS. METRS is a meteorological aerodrome reports. And TAFs. TAFs are terminal aerodrome forecasts. Understand that before flying. Check your sectional charts and online tools to identify airspace in the flight area, and be aware of any TFRs or SUAs that may affect the plane route. To conclude, guys, prioritize safety. That's the only thing I stress about when flying is safety. I want to make sure that my drone's good to fly. I want to make sure when it's in the air, it's not going to fall out and hurt somebody or damage property. Check your weather forecast, understand airspace. Pre-flight planning is essential for a smooth and incident-free drone operation. So guys, as drone pilots, just be aware of airspace and weather conditions. It's critical for safe and successful flights. Next time, we're gonna delve into FAA regulations and the exams. So I will see you on episode 3. Thank you guys for trusting me. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, dislike, comment. If you have any questions, somebody's gonna get you the answer if I don't get it for you. And thank you. Have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon. Take care, I love you. Be blessed.